And don't forget that we also talk about the last action, and this is something we'll continue to discuss. And that is in his plan to commit suicide, I think there is a combination of his realistic concerns and his dream or his idealism. The realistic concerns involves earning the money for his son, and also winning over the capitalist system, because he's been always owing money to the whole system. And in the final act, he finally is able to get some money from the system. Okay, although the play does not really reveal whether they do get money. At the end, they pay off the mortgage. That's for sure. But whether he gets the money or not, we're not sure. Okay, and then there is the idealistic aspect, such as he's planting seeds, and also his the images used about nature, like the diamond in the jungle, the boat that is waiting for him. Okay, and also his expectation of having a big funeral. So all of that are mixed in his plan. Finally, as I said, towards the end of Act 2, there is also a piece of realism, and that is he gets to understand how he's afraid. He's afraid of facing the death. Okay, and again, to talk about the use of the symbols in this play, let me just remind you that there are actually a lot of objects which by themselves do not seem to be symbolic. They seem to be just common daily objects. But in this play, because of the way the characters present them, or the ways the characters relate to them, they become symbolic, including the silk stocking, the tennis racket, football, the recorder, the fountain pen, the punching bag, the sneakers, etc., the fridge, refrigerator, the vacuum cleaner, the car, etc. All of them are properties that one desire to own in a capitalist system. But they are also what bind Willie to his being kind of a slave to the whole system. Okay. But don't forget that there are other elements, other aspects of nature. For instance, there are images of nature. Okay, images of the West, images of nature. They are also symbolic, and they become another part of Willie's dream. If there is the materialistic aspect to his dream, there is also the idealistic aspect, and they get to be conveyed through the images of the trees, the seas, the plants, including the swing that they hang in between the elms. Okay. Also the green leaves. They also all suggest freedom, being out in nature, being without too much constraint. Okay. Also, they are connected with Willie's interest in using tools, using his own hands. He's actually very, like his father, he's actually very good with hands, making tools and everything. Although he turns his direction towards business and wanting to be a salesperson. Okay, but this is another aspect of him that connects him to maybe the physical world of reality or of nature. Okay, and then there are images of transportation, which suggests that in this American dream, there is a materialistic aspect and also the idealistic aspect. But in order to for one to pursue the dream, there is also a need for transportation, okay, such as cars, boats, and trains, okay, that the characters talked about. And but of course, talking about the cars, boats, and trains, we can say that this is a very important motif in American literature, and that is being on the road. There's actually a novel called On the Road. And being on the road, we see that even early on in the Adventure of Huckleberry Finn, that's an early on-the-road novel. And then later on we have more on-the-road novel. And it's all part of the American dream, the need to go out in nature, to free oneself, and also to expand, okay? Okay, and then the stage directions. Don't forget that the whole play, you have to imagine it. You have to imagine how it is performed on stage to become a piece of expressionism. To see it as a piece of expressionism, emotions, or the emotional elements is very important in this play. For instance, the use of flute, the use of the other kinds of music. For instance, there is band theme, and it's once described as idyllic. Okay, so that's another kind of music. And then there is the gay music of the boys. Whenever there is a happy moment of the past, when they play football, when they welcome their father back home, etc., there is a gay music of the boys. Okay, but there is also some loud and coarse musical notes. For instance, in Act 2, just at the point when Willie in the restaurant is about to face the Boston episode, just before it, there is the trumpet note, the jarring trumpet note, to suggest the clashing of reality. Okay, and also in the bar, in the restaurant, there is the raucous, the very loud music of the young generation. So there are different kinds of music suggesting different kinds of emotions. Sometimes they support Willie's emotions. Sometimes they are in conflict with Willie to show how he's out of place, how he doesn't belong. Okay, and then finally, towards the end of Act 2, we have the cello string, 大提琴, which then turned into a dead march. It's a bit like a 死亡进行曲. Okay, so all of that, if you imagine it, how it can be performed, even without the musical notes, I think you can understand that the whole play is quite expressive, or it's quite emotional. Okay, okay. So let's get the two groups do the reading for us. Okay, group 1. 有没有都有麦克风？要不要再一个？
There are people all around here. Don't you realize that?
I'm busy. Don't bother me.
I'm saying goodbye to you, Pop. I'm not coming back anymore.
You're not going to see Oliver tomorrow?
I've got no appointment, Dad.
He put his arm around you, and you've got no appointment?
Pop, get this now, will you? Every time I left, it's been a fight that sent me out of here. Today I realized something about myself, and I tried to explain it to you. And I think I'm just not smart enough to make any sense out of it for you. To hell with whose fault it is, or anything like that. Let's just wrap it up, huh? Come on in, we'll tell Mom.
No, I don't want to see her.
Come on.
No, I don't want to see her.
Why don't you want to see her?
Don't bother me, will you?
What do you mean? You don't want to see her? You don't want them calling you yellow, do you? This isn't your fault, it's me. I'm a bum. Now come inside. Do you hear what I said to you? Alright, we had it out. I'm going and I'm not writing anymore. People ask where I am and what I'm doing, now. You don't know and you don't care. That way it'll be off your mind and you can start brightening up again, alright? That clears it, doesn't it? You gonna wish me luck, Scout? What do you say?
Shake his hand, Willie.
There's no necessity to mention the pen at all, you know?
I've got an appointment, Dad.
He put his arm around.
Dad, you're never going to see what I am, so what's the use of arguing? If I strike or I'll send you a check. Meantime, forget I'm alive.
Spy, see?
Shake hands, Dad.
Not my hand.
I was hoping not to go this way.
Well, this is the way you are going. Goodbye. May you rot in hell if you leave this house.
Exactly what is it what you want from me?
I want you to know on the train, in the mountains, in the valleys, wherever you go, that you cut down your life for spite.
No.
Spite is the word of your undoing. And when you are down and out, remember what did it. When you are rotting somewhere beside the railroad tracks, remember. And you dare blame it on me.
I'm not blaming on you.
I won't take the rap for this, you'd hear?
That's just what I'm telling you.
You're trying to put a knife in me. Don't think I don't know what you are doing.
Alright, funny. Then let's lay it on the line. Leave it there. Don't move it.
What is that?
You know goddamn well what that is.
I never saw that.
You saw it. The mice didn't bring it into the cellar. What is this supposed to do? Make a hero out of you? This supposed to make it sorry for you?
Never heard of it.
There'll be no pity for you. You hear it? No pity.
You hear the spite.
No, you're going to hear the truth. Where you are and what I am.
Spite.
The men don't know who we are. The man is gonna know. We never told the truth for 10 minutes in this house.
We always tell the truth.
You big blow. Are you the assistant buyer? You're one of the two assistants to the assistant, aren't you?
Well, I'm practically...
You're practically full of it. We all are, and I'm through with it. Now hear this. Willie, this is me.
I know you.
You know why I had no address for 3 months? I stole a suit in Kansas City, and I was in jail. Stop crying. I'm through with it.
I suppose that's my fault.
I stole myself out of every good job since high school.
And whose fault is that?
And I never got anywhere because you blew me so full of hot air. I could never stand taking orders from anybody. That's whose fault it is.
I hear that.
Don't.
It's goddamn time you heard that. I had to be boss big shot in 2 weeks, and I'm through with it.
Then hang yourself for spite. Hang yourself.
No, nobody's hanging himself, Willie. I ran down 11 flights with a pen in my hand today, and suddenly it stopped. You hear me? And in the middle of that office building, do you hear this? I stopped in the middle of that building and saw the sky. I saw the thing that I love in this world. The work and the food and the time to sit and smoke. And I looked at the pen and said to myself, what the hell am I grabbing for this for? Why am I trying to become what I don't want to be? What I'm doing in an office, making a contemptuous begging fool of myself, when all I want is out there waiting for me the minute I say I know who I am. Why can't I say that, Willie?
The door of your life is wide open.
Pom, I'm dying of a dozen and so are you.
I'm not a dime dozen. I'm Willie Loman, and you're a fifth Loman.
I'm not a leader of men, Willie, and neither are you. You're never anything but a hard-working drummer who landed in the ash can like all the rest of them. I'm on $1 an hour. I'm $1 an hour, Willie. I tried 7 states and couldn't raise it. $1 an hour. Do you gather my meaning? I'm not bringing home any prizes anymore, and you are going to stop waiting for me to bring them home.
You vengeful, spiteful mutt.
Pop, I'm nothing, Pop. Can't you understand that? There's no spite in me anymore. I'm just what I am, that's all.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Why is he crying?
Will you let me go for Christ's sake? Will you take that phony dream and burn it before something happens? I'll go in the morning. Put him to bed.
Isn't that remarkable? Biff, he likes me.
He loves you, Willie.
He cried to me. That boy is going to be magnificent.
That's it. That's it, right? Yes. Thank you. Okay, hand the mic to Biff 4. So, anyone who wants to interpret the lines, or maybe from anyone from Group 1 who has Karen, right? Karen and Tiffany? Okay. Try and see if this works.
I think Biff is the only one in the Lohman family wants to tell the truth. And he mentioned that no one in this house ever says the truth in 10 minutes. And he wants to show Willie how weak his dream is, and he doesn't want to follow his dad's idealistic anymore, because he thinks that it's not realistic. And also he wants Willie knows their standard. There are only a dime of dozen, but Willie cannot accept the truth. And so are Linda and Happy. They stand on the opposite side to Biff because they don't want to hurt Willie.
Okay, Tiffany?
And it also reveals that Willie's education toward Biff somehow is wrong, because when Biff was in high school, he saw football, but Willie didn't scold him. So when Biff grew up, he stole a pen, and it became one of his habits.
Okay. Any other responses? No? Okay. Rereading it this time, I saw another thing, and that is maybe, yes, indeed, Biff is true. He's not want to stay in self-deception. But maybe it's not necessary for him to say that both of them are a dozen. The one? In a sense that, even if we are not successful in the business world, it doesn't mean that we are cheap. We can still try to find another way out. Maybe Biff's comment is reactionary in the sense that against the father, he wants to break his dream, and that's why he says that he's a dime a dozen. But actually, I think for Oscar Miller, as well as maybe for many of us, everybody has his and her own value. It doesn't mean that if we earn lower wages, then we are cheap, or we are a dime a dozen. So that's one thing to consider, especially after you have finished Requiem. And the other thing is indeed how Willie works himself out of the confrontation. I think that's very touching and interesting. And that is, he doesn't want to continue the confrontation. He seizes the last hope he has, and that is Biff's love for him. In a way, maybe Willie understands what Biff is talking about. Okay, but he does not want to give up hope. Okay, and the last hope he has is for a kind of family connections that, at the present status, he only has Charlie as his friend, and then he only has his family, but no other connections. And then he's able to confirm his connection with his son, and that becomes the most important thing for him. And that's why I think Willie, upon seeing Biff cry, say that, "Oh, isn't that remarkable? Biff, he likes me." And then Linda, as always being the supportive one, says, "He loves you." Okay, so I think this is a very important turning point. And it partly explains why Willie later decides to have the accident. Okay. Okay, the next group 4. Let's start with the first encounter in this act. No, not the second to last encounter between Ben and Willie on page 3, 1703. Do you have the mic? Only one? This one. Why don't you try this?